Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for Friday, April 29th, 2022, the last Friday of April. I'm the man they call Meathead, and it's Matthew Thomas on a Friday morning. Good morning, Matthew.
My last Friday of April as well, too. That's something we both got in common.
Well, I think we got that in common also with that cat from across the street. He also is celebrating his last Friday in April.
Hey, man, that makes three of us then.
Well, we've got things in common. All right. The other thing that you and I have in common is we have a certain T-shirt from a certain company. Who would that be?
That's Collar and Elbow, available exclusively at collarandelbowbrand.com. That's where I get my shirts from. You get your shirts, and I think Mr. Cat across the street gets his shirts. Promo code Linda K saves you 10%.
Fair enough. All right. Let's talk a little bit of news, shall we? First off, a very scary incident reported by TMZ. Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre with a match which had Sami Zayn at ringside for some reason. I don't know what the setup was on it, but as Drew McIntyre went to hit the ropes and Bobby was going to hit the ropes, Drew hit the ropes snapped, Bobby flips out of the ring. The video, it's scary because it's at full speed, but the rope breaks while in a live event in Newcastle, England, just yesterday.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like it. It almost looks like my comment to you, I think, after watching it was it almost doesn't look real. It just looks so like almost something you'd see in a video game. I mean, that very scary incident. Hopefully, all parties involved are all right.
So far, we're not hearing anything injury-wise out of Bobby, but I hope he's okay. And that was in front of a full house. It wasn't, in front of, training. It's, we're back to full crowds, and they had a full house in Newcastle, England, and he was able to finish the match. He came back and worked the rest of the match. So good to hear. Bobby, we hope you're okay. I know that Matthew is always looking out for his guy, Bobby
Absolutely.
Lashley. All right. We reported earlier, I think it was, last week when Rampage was in Pittsburgh again, or Dynamite was in Pittsburgh. We reported that MJF stopped by and made a visit to Franco Harris, an unwelcomed visit to at least his statue from the backside. And this has now become a security issue, Matthew. MJF's recent stunt has caused the Pittsburgh International Airport to increase security around the Franco Thomas statue.
Or the Franco Harris statue? The Franco Harris statue?
Yeah, the Franco Thomas, the one from the boner pills with Doug Flutie? No, the Franco Harris. Yeah. Ironic that it's not MJF, the one that was taking the Franco Harris pills. No.
We need to research it. There's probably a Frank Thomas statue. So if there was a Frank Thomas statue, I'd visit it.
Well, I mean, it depends on its pre or post Doug Flutie pills. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they want to spend money to have people watch guard of a statue, but what's wrong with having a little harmless fun with the statue?
So MJF was standing behind it's probably roped off. So the fact that he got so close to it is why it's a security issue now, right? But after that tweet from the airport that they said how I feel about Pittsburgh, and then he was bent, basically Franco was bent over doing the Immaculate Reception, and he's standing behind it. He said, you know what? Once they said the security, after that wrestler disrespected the Franco statue, the PGH airport is done playing games, and they've got 3 armed officers standing there. He goes, I'm going to do it again. Now, MJF, who never likes to break character during his interviews, recently spoke with Ariel Helwani about how he tends to play the field once his AEW contract's up as well. Quote, because I just don't spam moves like I'm in a video game. I make people feel something because I'm going out there to win. I'm not going out there to show off. I'm not going out there to try and make sure that I get all these people talking about my star ratings. No, if that happens and it's a byproduct, that's cool. But I didn't get into business to hit moves. I got into business to make money. That's what I got into this business. That's why I'm not afraid to talk about when my contract is up January 1st, 2024, and I'm not afraid to stir that pot. MJF says he is a free agent January 1st, 2024.
Yeah, and that's something they've been running with for a while. And I think it's a great idea. I don't think you've ever – I mean, of course, it's not anything that somebody in WWE would be talking about or necessarily allowed to talk about. But the fact that this is something that is in the conversation, it's very fitting for MJF's character. And, I think that it certainly adds to I mean, to be quite honest with you, Meathead, it's good for the business.
Okay. Let's move on to WWE and let's talk about the women. Becky Lynch is said she's ready to go if Trish Stratus ever wants to get another match. Holy smokes, I would want to see that. Trish and Becky one-on-one. Give me a SummerSlam match. Give me a WrestleMania match with a little Stratusfaction and the man. Yeah, sign me up.
That could be really fun. And also, too, you're in a period now where Becky is active and she doesn't have the belt. So you really have a top tier talent that you can work these very high level matches with. And that's one thing that strong of a women's division as WWE has had. One thing they tend to struggle with is those other stories in the women's division that are not involving your titles or the women's tag team titles. And I think with Becky Lynch having a period where she doesn't have a belt, you can really elevate some top tier non-title matches with Becky and whoever she decides to pair up with.
There's been details of a meeting at NXT about how the girls have to dress sexier at NXT. In October of last year, they were talking about it. I don't think that this is the time nor the year to be having these kind of meetings and kind of statements out there. But there is talk that NXT are kind of leaning into the girls and saying, look, you're just not attractive enough on TV.
That doesn't age well from October of 2021.
Right. That's what I'm saying. October of 2021. Right.
Yeah, it's that's surprising. It's not extremely not saying that it couldn't happen, but my goodness, yeah, it's surprising that there would be as much lack of self-awareness in the day and age that we are living in to have that in a corporate publicly traded company.
Yep. All right, let's talk a little bit of Smackdown. Smackdown. Sami Zayn is going to have to face Drew McIntyre again, this time in a steel cage. How does Sami Zayn get out of it?
I don't know, but he's resourceful. He'll figure out a way. And keep in mind, Meathead, Sammy, he's not doing it because he's afraid. He's doing it because he's a man of the people and he's making a statement. And I firmly believe that. Sami Zayn right now, as far as I'm concerned, is the most entertaining person on SmackDown, possibly in all of WWE. I thoroughly enjoy anything Sammy is involved in. That segment last week with Sammy just basically giving a monologue backstage to the Bloodline. If you go back and watch that, nobody said anything to Sammy. That was all Sammy talking. That was excellent.
Yeah, they just kind of stared.
Which happens a lot to me when I'm talking, so I understand.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot too, but I don't know what they're staring at. So, also, we are only, a couple days away, a week away, I think it is, just a week and a couple days from WrestleMania Backlash. Will we finally get, and I hate that it sounds like I'm dogging them, but I want to be completely honest. We got the physicality again between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte. Will we get anything interesting out of this second to last SmackDown before the pay-per-view?
I don't know, man. They are
they're struggling on that.
Maybe you have a week where you just skip it.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. I mean, it was.
Do they go let me ask you this. Do they go the route that they did with Brock and Goldberg in the build up to WrestleMania 20? Where, nobody wanted to hear them talk anymore, but the match was already set. So they just let it just go. And then they brought them back for the match. Do they just take them off TV for 2 weeks and then have the match at the pay-per-view?
It's very possible. I don't know that we get that. But I mean, how many times, because we saw the contract signing, last week, and we saw one prior to their WrestleMania match. Like, how many times are we going to see Charlotte and Ronda sitting across the table from each other? You're
right. And Charlotte hit a kendo stick underneath the table.
Yeah, you're going to every well you can to get ready for the matchup between those two. And honestly, I thought it was a shoo-in for Ronda to have a title win soon after she came back. But where we have been with this, and I mean, basically where Ronda's at on the mic right now, I don't know if we get a Ronda reign, or if Charlotte doesn't find a way to, what was it, Rock and Mick Foley with the recorded vocals, find a way to
that
have
was that
her
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Remember what that was? That was 99, and that's when they had that spot where he got thrown into like the speakers and half the lights went out in the arena.
Was that the same year with the multiple chair shots?
Yep.
Yeah, and that was filmed for what, Beyond the Mat?
Beyond the Mat. Mm-hmm. With Mrs. Foley's wife, or Mrs. Foley's, Mr. Foley's wife and kids, who Dewey, one of the employees of WWE now, but his kids were there watching too.
Yeah, definitely a very, I haven't seen that in probably decades, but very interesting piece of film. And also, a little bit of a different angle to watch it from now with, Jake being as successful as he has in his sobriety.
Yeah. So, yeah. Madcap M.O.S. will be heavily featured. Los Lotharios will be featured. And again, we'll have something with RK Bro and the Usos as they head into WrestleMania Backlash for next week. Let's talk about Dynamite coming up tonight as well. Again, a stack. They shove a whole bunch of stuff into 1 hour. It's like 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. But we've got Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland in a qualifier match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Hook and Danhausen have a face-off. They're having a face-off. I've got the over-under at Hook saying anything at 0. He's not saying a word. Danhausen will carry that on the microphone. Keith Lee taking on Colton Gunn, and the Ring of Honor World TV Champion Samoa Joe will defend his title against Trent Beretta. Holy smokes. So instead of, because we could pick these matches, right? We can go through. Let's decide. Let's pick. Let's take some guesses here. What match opens up the card?
Ooh. Oh my goodness. I think Darby. That's a good main event though. Oh my goodness. Darby goes on last. That's your main event right there.
You think Darby goes on last? I think you're wrong. I think it's going to be Ring of Honor closes the show.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing too. I could see Darby going on first because, okay, I changed my answer. I agree with you. I changed my answer.
Okay, so what goes on first?
So you got Darby going on first.
All right. Where does the Hook and Danhausen spot go?
You put it, it's in the middle. It's either second or third.
I think it's underneath the main event. So right before the main event. Some levity, and then you get into a hard-hitting main event with Joe and Beretta.
So don't discount that actually opening, because here's the thing. You want
not going to open.
You want somebody that comes out with a song that gets the people, okay? And Hook's song gets the people.
You're absolutely right on that.
But I take it back. Recently, something else we need to consider. Recently, you have not been seeing the intros to start it off. The first
because they have 4 matches and they've got 60 minutes.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm going to change it around just to disagree with you. I'm going to say Hook opens the show. That's right. That's the first music you hear.
Hook and Danhausen open the show. Okay.
Yep.
And don't forget, we've got AEW TBS champion Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan taking on Trish, Adora, Sky Blue, and Willow Nightingale.
I like Jade's stable. What's she calling the what's
the
her?
Baddies?
Yeah, I like that. I think that is a great not pairing, because pairing is normally like 2 people, but whenever you pair a whole bunch of people together, what do you call that?
A joining, a cockle, it's a stable, it's a family, it's a. It's her baddies. That's what she calls it. She doesn't need anything, but she would tell you it's her baddies. You don't need to call it anything other than that.
I think you're correct.
All right. So, again, we got big action popping off on SmackDown, big action on Rampage. Holy smokes, Matthew. We've got just a week away from the WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view, but also, you know what that means? We're less than a week away from...
That's right. The 2022 2023 PWR draft. And I just want to clarify something for the listening audience. WrestleMania Backlash is not to be confused with WrestleMania Backrash, which is what you got from that extended stay hotel.
Right, exactly. Somebody asked me if it was a 5-star hotel. I said, yeah, 0.5. I got an extended rash all over me, too. I guess I shouldn't have been sleeping naked under the covers.
What other way is there to I almost accidentally said, what other way is there to sweep? And yeah, that works for sleep and sleep. What other way is there to sweep than naked?
I mean, if you want, if you want your little sea crabs, I mean, that's the way to do it. In a nasty hotel, sleep without any clothes on. Yikes.
How was the radiator? Did you ever turn on the radiator?
No, I had the air conditioner on. It's Texas, the radiator.
Oh my goodness. Oh my! You know what? You should have taken some pictures, man. I mean, you've kind of built this thing up in everybody's mind. But
oh no, I asked. Go ahead and head on down to Arlington and stay at the extended stay. It's a 0.5 rating, right next to the Cracker Barrel and the rocking chairs.
I need to send you that coupon code, man. I've been meaning to do that. They're trying to get me to come down there.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm trying to book my flight over to Denver.
Yeah,
maybe Labor Day we'll come hang out.
That's right. There is a festive baseball game going on, and you very well might have a speaking engagement in Denver that weekend.
That's right. Somebody might actually pay me to speak. I mean, good God Almighty. All right, Matthew, that is the end of the week. Again, next week, PWR Fantasy Draft for the 22-23 season is going to happen. It's Linda Kay, it's Matthew Thomas, and the man they call Meathead. If we were to go back down the annals of the PWR draft history, I've got a win. Damian, I believe, won once. Dave won once. There's stories out there that Andrew Drew Bay won once. And Matthew, you won as well. Is this the year of Linda Kay?
It's quite possible. I mean, because I'm involved, I'm going to say no. But I mean, it's possible. I mean, crazier things have happened.
The draft is always for sale too. Do you remember the year that I won the draft when I showed up on PWR? Yeah.
Yeah. When does my cup come in the mail? Like I get the PWR cup, right? Isn't that the yearly trophy that passes back and forth?
You can get the PWR trough is what you can have.
That would work. Just something. Yeah, because I imagine you got to take it to the. Is there what is trophy engraver? Is that the name, or is there more of like a proper name for a trophy engraver?
Like a sommelier for trophies? No.
Yeah.
It's the trophy engraver. Matter of fact, I've said for years that we should have a trophy, and the one that Dave and Damian were passing back and forth, I mean, that has the lineage, right? If we're talking about the NWA championship versus the WWE championship, but I've won in the older generation. I won in the newer generation. So, is there anybody on this show that is now a multiple-time draft winner?
Question. That's interesting. Maybe I'll put some thought into, maybe I'll take it upon myself to design a new trophy. And I mean, here's the thing, I won't have to have it travel anywhere. So just something that will blend in good with my home.
We should probably get you the Sacco trophy too. All right. Matthew, that is the end of the week. Thank you to Linda Kay. Thank you to you, Matthew Thomas. I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. Make sure to like us and comment on the videos. That stuff really does help. We put this show in there 5 days a week for you guys. I know you listen in your cars. I know you listen on the train. I know you're listening on the way to work. You're working out. You're on the treadmill. Wherever you listen, in the shower, like Matthew Thomas, this is the podcast for you, and we do it for you, the people. So for all of us here at PWR today, thanks for stopping by. Talk to you Monday morning. So long, everyone.